Hello again, everybody. It's Corky Commando. We're going to run it back with that mono block control list we've been playing with, except we're going to make it a little better. That last video, I played a few more matches in Quick Constructed with the mono black control list, and it went 0-3. It was bad. Just doesn't have enough oomph to it, so we switched it up. We took out the pirates, the one drop. We put another duress in there to get rid of non-creature spells rather. Still run the cast downs, only run 2 zealots, not 4. We still have the freebooters. Try and get non-creatures out of the hound again. Still a flyer, still decent. We put in 4 Knights of Malice. With its first strike and hexproof from white, it can help stabilize the board early on. Some treasure maps to help siphon through our deck. Try and find cards that are actually useful. I still have a one of the arterial flow hill here, rather. I really like this card. I just like getting 2 cards out of their hand for the price of 1. Still have the Bantu's Last Reckoning as a last resort. We're still running Dreadshades. Now we have 4 of. It's such a good card. The best creature we really run in the deck. Still have the Josu Vess. We're only running 1 now, not 2. It's still good value as a 4-drop. We very rarely have enough mana to get to a 10-drop, so let's not try and run 2 of these. Still have a 1 of Phyrexian Scriptures. It's a board wipe controlled one at that. Still running 2 Chupacabras. Good way to 2 for 1 an opponent. I get a creature, they lose 1. We still have 1 of the Torment of Scarabs. It's a way to passively get rid of opponent's life, cards, creatures, anything. We now have 4 Vraska's Contempts. I went ahead and blew through for the rare wild cards to go ahead and get that. Very useful card. And I blew 2 more of the mythic wildcards on Karns. We have 4 Karns now. We're still running 1 of Tetsamok here. I think it's a great way to stabilize the board. It's just a decent creature at the top end of the curve. We now have a Torment of Hailfire. We didn't have one of these before. And this can get out of control. It can win the game all by itself. 2 Cabal Strongholds, 21 Swamps, only running 23 lands. Let's look at that curve real quick. Only 16 creatures now, 21 non-creature spells. The curve's dropped to 2.86. Only 23 lands, 13 2-drops and 13 4-drops. And then that 1 6+ drop is going to be Tetsamok. It doesn't count Torment there. We're not going to Torment for any less than 6 unless absolutely necessary. So let's go run it out there. I didn't manage to record a game where I did Torment a Hailfire for X equals 16. That definitely won the game. That was a lot of fun. I wish I had that clipped. I'm sorry you don't get to watch it. You'll just have to trust me here. 1 land hand to start the game. Not going to keep it. We'll mulligan down. 3 lands. Can cast everything but the Vraska's Contempt. So we'll keep this. And we have the land on top. So we can cast every spell we've got. Opponent runs out of tapped green lands. Not quite sure what they're playing yet. Probably tokens. More green. Oh boy. All the Sapper lanes. I think if decks go really wide really quickly, this deck has a lot of trouble with that. So we freebooter here. We see that they have more Sapperlings or a means to go get more land. I'm not as concerned about them having more land. We'll try and take some of the gas out of their deck. Let's get rid of more Sapperlings. Pick up Slimefoot. I like when anybody tries to play Slimefoot. I appreciate that. Throw up the nice. Let's run a swap out there and divest again. see what we can take away from them. We can take away the Sap Herd, which makes another token, which we are going to do here. No attacks. We can block a Saproling token if they attack with that. It just slows their board down a little bit. Growth in the Ashes unkicked, so they only get the 1 land. They only have the Saproling Migration in hand, so if they top deck another land, they can kick it, make 4 tokens. Slimefoot gets in. I'm not about to block. Well, Vraska's Contempt to get rid of Slimefoot. No need to attack here. Their creatures can't get through at this point. Torment of Hailfire is available, but I only have 4 mana, so it's not super useful just yet. We're in a good spot here, though. And then a board wipe. I love the art for Scriptures. I love how that scroll unfurls. It's really awesome. I'm debating whether to block here or not. Give him back his card a turn early. I decide against. We'll just go ahead and get in for some damage here. No land, but we did get another kill spell in the form of Chupacabra, which is nice. Here comes the board wipe. We'll let that resolve, obviously. Nothing I can do about that. He gets back the card exiled. It's that migration. I choose not to block, or rather Contempt, that Saproling token. I could have. I wasted all that mana for a turn, basically. But I felt like there'd be better value getting rid of something else later on in the game. And knowing that he's just got the Saproling boosters in hand, I'll hold on to the Chupacabra. The Dreadshade can block that Saproling token all day long. It's another land, so we know he's got 2 migrations in hand. He kicks the first one. 4 Saproling tokens. No combat. It's just going to pass right through it. You get another swamp. And here I choose to swing. I want to see whether or not the opponent's going to go ahead and block all out or just block with 1. They decide to just block with 1. Right choice there. So we do kill a token. And we are going to Chupacabra here to kill the beefy token. And now we have the board starting to stabilize quite a bit. I'm not scared of a bunch of 1/1 tokens. They Vraska's Contempt our Shade, which is too bad. We do top deck Bantu's Last Reckoning. If things get really out of hand, we can wipe the board out. Let's go to combat. If they want to trade 2 for 1, I'm fine with that. They probably won't block. They'll just take it. They're at an advantage right now where they can do more damage per turn than I can do. Another migration. This one wasn't kicked. And they scoop it up. They must not have been finding anything they wanted. Felt that there wasn't a way to get through everything I potentially had in the deck. And so, we get the win. A little surprised by it, honestly. They weren't behind. They could outpace me in terms of damage. But I could just keep eating tokens all day long with Chupacabra. They may have also scooped because maybe they wanted to kick the Saproling migration. Who knows what happened there. We'll run right back into another match, though. Opponent mulligan's down to 6. We've got 3 lands. and 3 spells that we can cast immediately. Karn in hand, so we're feeling pretty good. Opponent goes first, runs out the Evolving Wilds, and we'll pass with just the 1 swamp. I expect them to crack the Evolving Wilds. They don't. They must not have any 2-drop spells. We draw another Karn. We'll run the Zealot out there, lose a life, draw a card. They'll go find a land now. I think I oopsed them because I figured they maybe forgot to go get a land the previous turn. They get the Land of War Elves, and here I figure, let's cast it down. First I'll attack, hopefully to bait a block. They choose not to. I'm gonna kill that Wells right now, knowing that it's a mana source, they may not have another land, forcing them to play from behind. They run the Zealot out there, trying to draw into another land. They don't get it. So killing that elf was the right play for sure. Let's go and swing in, we'll trade. And now that the board's clear, we'll go and run Karn out. And just press this advantage as much as we can. We just get more and more cards.
Our actions deter the choices we make, reveal who we are.
We just get some pretty decent creatures right off the top. The Shade and the Malice, Knight of Malice. They give us the Knight, the right choice. They run Migration out there and miss land drop again, and that's just a little rough. Let's +1 the Karn, see what we find. Another land, Knight of Malice. Give us the land. Running the Knight out there. The Knight can just block all day long. Dreadshade comes out. And they missed a land drop again. Scoop it up. So 2 quick wins. That cast down early on was the right play. It put them so far behind that they couldn't recover. They mulliganed down to 6, only had 2 lands. Potentially only had 1, but decided to keep it. And it backfired. So 2 very easy wins. Let's run into match number 3 here. We're on a roll. Let's just keep the hot hand going. Opponent decides to keep. We decide to keep. I like it. 3 lands. 2 spells we can cast. And with 1 more land, we can cast everything. We'll ramp. I misclicked the swamp. Always a good feeling. Oh boy. So they only have 1 land in hand. And they have a Lyra and a Tender Shoot Dryad. And then the 2-drop Fallon, which makes all his Saproleans a little beefier. Seeing as the opponent only has the 1 land, we decide to take the Fallon, taking away a threat early on. We'll likely have ways to deal with Lyra and the Dryad later on in the game. We pass the turn. Opponent plays the land that we know they have, gets in for 1. And now we'll freeboot her. And we'll take away that instant that makes Saproleans. See that they found another land, so they've been top decking lands. Works perfectly for them. The freebooter can block that elf all day, so we're not scared about that. They do top deck another Fallid, so they have a play. Go to combat in the air, run the Shade out. It's a good top deck in that situation. Don't run a lot of 3 drops. and it's basically the perfect 3-drop for us. They top deck another Thallid. If it were a land, we'd be in a little bit of trouble. We'll go ahead and block here. We'll take the trade. And here we're going to run out the Chupacabra to kill the elf. Even if they top deck a land, they can't cast a spell that they have in hand. We know that much. So we're going to put them back a turn. Out-tempo them for a bit here. They don't top deck a land. It's another creature. We'll definitely take this trade. They should not swing into that trade, but they decide to anyway. And here we're going to try and find some answers. We know Lyra is potentially coming down soon.
Let us begin.
Same with the Tender Shoot Dryad. We reveal Vraska's Contempt in the swamp. They're going to give us the swamp every time. We have a Vraska's Contempt in hand, though. So we have answers. Finds the land. Lyra's coming out.
I'll make use of that.
We'll activate Karn again. We're hoping to find a land here, actually, and they're going to give it to us. So we can now Vraska's Contempt to kill Lyra. And then we can cast down the elf, shutting down their board entirely. But they scoop it up. So the black deck works great. I'm loving it so far. Pretty consistent. Not missing lands. I like it a lot. Well, thanks for watching. We'll run it back again tomorrow. Bye.